day 2 legs today. He was real scared to do a hike. We did a pretty steep hike yesterday. And how's your knee pain, or talk about?
What's interesting, if you look at my driveway here, I was not able to walk down this grade 3 months ago. The pain in my knee was too much and it swelled for a couple days. Been living in this house. We live in the mountains for the last 3 years. There's this hike up to the Firewatch. It's a really steep grade. It's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour walk from my house to the top. And it was my dream to be able to do this, and it seems so like fantastical. There's no way I'm ever going to get up this damn hill. And then we did that, and that's not a wild animal. That's my neighbor's cat. We got to the top of we did the hike. I had no pain on the way up, no pain on the way down. On the way down it's a steep grade. Didn't have any pain. Today, my knee doesn't bother me at all. Actually, my hip bothers me a little bit, but it's just a little tight, which is a good thing because he's got my glute, my hip working correctly. And this was like a huge milestone in my development, was to be able to get up this hike that I've been staring at for such a long time.
Let's go train. This is one of the main glute exercises that we're going to do, okay, that he's been doing, and we'll show you where you want to feel it. But this was his main problem of why his knee was bothering his TFL. This was so weak, so his TFL was overworking, just pulling right down onto his knee, causing the Patellar tendonitis. Okay, go ahead. So what we want to do is we want to keep this, if this is totally square here, we're going to move this like 2-3 inches forward. He's going to keep a little bit of arch in the back, not crazy, you just don't want to fold over and round. And then he's going to come up, and see that range of motion, he's getting above his hip. That's what we want to be able to do, but maintain this. See how that's not moving? Go ahead and lift up. See, that's not moving backward here. It's staying in that position, and now we're creating that medial rotation, adduction here, rather than like the clam where you open and you go this way. So that hip has to keep from moving. So he's passed this test. We're going to show you the next level then to the exercise, and what we're going to move on to. This is actually the first time he's ever done it is going to be today, because I'm just here testing him. This looks great. Let's do the other side. And now he wants to feel this right through this part, okay? And he needs to stay, you're moving your hip a little bit too much. This is his bad side. That looks really good. So Scott, why don't you talk a little bit about this exercise and kind of what you went through?
I'm talking when I'm done.
He'll talk when he's done. That's good. Just keep that hip from moving. Just stay there. Don't come up as high. Right there. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
He's on it.
I'm just keeping him in really good position so he doesn't move that hip.
He wants to feel all through right here. Not up into the upper glute, not down the TFL. Okay, take a rest break. So
when I started this with Zach, my right glute was 1/3 the size of my left glute. Wasn't activating at all. And we were doing these exercises, I couldn't feel the individual muscles, I couldn't feel my hip, couldn't feel my glute. The whole thing was a mess. And through Zach's exercises, where he's had me doing all the little glute squeeze exercises and reactivating and getting the whole thing, this is a huge milestone today for me to get through this damn glute fly exercise. It's been my nemesis.
All right, so now we're going to show you the next progression he's ready for. He passed that test. And again, the testing is in our app. Okay, you can see how we do that, and other videos we put out. We showed a lot with testing. So we're just going to get in the same position as the other exercise. Just going to bend this leg a quarter. We're going to put this right on the calf. I'm going to push his hip actually really far forward. You want to be almost 45 degrees. And then what he's going to do is, actually we need a little bit, you can keep it rolling. We just need this for a little bit of a hand position here. I'm going to have him put this like this on top. Okay, that's going to kind of keep him stable so he doesn't fall forward with his hips so far forward here so he doesn't fly on his face. What we're going to do is we're going to take this leg off, we're going to touch our toe down. If this is 90 degrees here, we're going to just move it a quarter down from 90. Now he's in the perfect position. I'm not going to have him move with this, I'm just going to have him lift up. Go ahead, lift your leg. Just hold that right there and keep your hip at that angle. You see how that's parallel with the floor here? He's got an arch in his back, and now he's able to connect into that glute medius. You should feel it in the same spot, correct? But he's able now to really take this to a whole nother level. If I didn't start with this exercise, if I started with this exercise, he wouldn't feel it in his glute. He had to build up the range of motion in that glute medius in order to really target in that. It's just shaking like hell, huh?
Yeah, it sucks.
Okay, rest. Okay, he's in good position. Look at that. And his back's arched. Do you see that angle? Look at that angle of the hip. Okay, almost 45. If you can think about maybe 3 or 4 inches forward from neutral. And that's perfect. I'm not going to have him move with it yet. He's going to do this for the next session or 2 so you can really understand the end point of the exercise, and then I'm going to have him move with it. Yeah, feel that arch. There it is. Fight that. Yep. Okay, rest. Got it? Much more intense, yeah?
Yeah.
So now we're doing the left side here. Again, 90, a quarter down. He's a little far up. He's going to push that forward. Really the key is to arch that back. If your back goes rounded, you cannot get into the medius as deep. That's perfect. And look at that leg. We don't want to let it go like this. We want to keep it parallel. Right there. He's fighting against. There. Do you feel the intensity when I did that?
Yeah, that's weak.
Okay. This cheats it. We want to be right here. Don't let the ankle get above the knee. Just a nice straight line. This is nice and parallel with the floor. That's perfect. And look at the toe. Not like this. Okay, so I'm just going to hold him in that position to make sure he doesn't cheat it. There we go. Yep. Feel it?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, rest. Look at the gap in between here and here. You see, here's the center of your hip. You're down almost, what would you say? It's 8 inches, something like that. Okay?
All right.
Yep. Look at that hip, nice and forward. This is what we're looking for. It's right side. This was like the problem side. There was no glute. Look at him shaking. Okay? So, and get over top, babe. Keep holding it. You're going 45 seconds. Look at the arch in his back here. Okay? That's what we're looking for. And we're making sure that this, if you move back, babe, we're making sure that this leg right here is parallel. He's shot.
Can't do that fucking for a minute.
So generally when I see a client and they have the pass leg glute test, that's when I start really working at the hip flexor. And you'll notice if you are using our app training program or you're in Corrects 12, the first 5 black bolt exercises, one of them is the ball groin squeeze. So we build up the groin, we build up the glutes. Once the glutes are functioning correctly, then the hip flexor will function correctly. If you try to do hip flexion exercises before the glutes are built up, normally you start getting a pinching sensation, okay, up through your sartorius and TFL in this area here, and you don't even feel the adductor chain working correctly with your rectus femoris and your iliopsoas. Now, what we want to do with this exercise is, I'm going to show you that this is our floor kick series. I have not put this in the app. I've been experimenting with now for the last 6 months, so I know exactly how it reacts with all my different clients. But what you want to do is you want to keep the back arched. So if you're looking at it from the side over here, babe, I want to be able to get my hand underneath here, okay? So I should be able to get my hand underneath here. I know it's hard to see because it's all black. So when he lifts his leg, go ahead, lift your leg. That back stays arched. And he only goes up as far as he can stay arched. That's the key, because what I want to do is I want to take out the abs and I want to take out the psoas, okay? I want to just use the iliacus and his rectus femoris here and his adductors in hip flexion. As soon as people start doing this, it takes away from the other parts of the hip flexor chain that I just mentioned. So I want to take the psoas out. That's why he's keeping his back arched. Now he's going to align his ankle. Just move it out a little bit. Align his ankle here with his shoulder. He's just going to, if this is straight, he's just going to bend his knee a little bit. And he's going to turn his foot a little bit below 45 degrees. And now he's just going to lift up and down. He doesn't have to lift that high. Right to there, back up and down. Okay, now this is focused more on, he's going to feel it right through here. Okay, this part of your hip flexor here, the brevis, the longus, that's what we're going to attack here. We're getting a little lateral rotation, but not much. Okay, he's fried. Good, 10. And now we have one more variation. And babe, if you could show this some different angles here. So now what we're going to do is, and go back to that first exercise just so they can see. If we move out here, and now just go up and down just so they can see that angle here. Okay, that's how he's moving, just like that. Just do like 2 or 3 reps. Good. And let's get it rest. You can see that? Yeah. Okay, rest. Here with this one, we're gonna bend it in, okay? Now instead of being here, he's bent in, and now he's gonna try to flip his ankle above his knee. And now we are getting into the lateral rotators along with the hip flexors. So we're getting the lateral rotators, and we're also getting into the adductor chain here when he's doing this, all right? All right,
You gotta do the right side.
Yeah.
Left side shot.
All right, that's good, rest. So this is the first time he's front squatted in 9 years, okay, today. He has been doing some other some other exercises for his knees to build up to this point, okay? And we've shown in other videos, put the link in the end. This is what he's ready for now. And not much weight, 55 pounds, but this is really nice for him to be able to do. He used to be into CrossFit, so this is a position he knows, his body knows, so that's why it's a little bit safe to go into this right now for him as well. So we did all that warm up with his glutes, passed all those tests, and now we're moving into the front squat. This is the first exercise on the Correx 24. He's moved from Correx 12 into Correx 24, so we're going to be doing this. We're doing some hamstring exercises, some deadlifts today, and that'll be the end of his workout. But we always start with those corrective exercises. It's much easier than to get that glute firing when he's even working his quads. So real simple, he's just doing a hamstring superset, the quad exercise with his hamstring just so he can get through quicker. Everything's around 3 sets of 10 to 15. Simple, easy. So what we're doing now is we're going to do a deadlift. He's ready to do a deadlift. He was very scared before because he's hurt his back numerous times, yeah?
23 years.
So we're going to do a deadlift today. And the reason I know he's ready to do a deadlift is because of glutes. He's passed all his glute tests. He has the support now from his glutes to protect his low back. So let's go into it now. We're going to start him off. This is our foundation deadlift exercise. Eventually he'll move on to the bar, but he's got to build this one up to 80 pounds. We're just starting with 45, 50 pounds. He's not going to try to bend his knees much. He's trying to hinge from the hip. I'm going to just put my hand here so he hinges. Hinge. Yep. Yep. Good. Hinge. Yep. Hinge, 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 hinge. Yes. Stretch the back. Hinge, 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 hinge. Good. Stretch the back. Yep. Yeah. Good. Hinge. Stretch the back. That's perfect. No pain. That's good. Yes. Good. Good. Any pain? Good.
When you were doing this, I wasn't getting the full. That's fine. Fine. Fine.